How would you react if you recognized your house and furniture, but not the people in a porno? I'd ask myself why I'm watching something with production values that low. Because you really want to know who TF took your clothes out of the washing machine, and why. Wasn't your stepsister, or she would be still stuck there. I'd probably be profoundly depressed that that's the most sex my bed has seen in about 4 years. Sounds like you need to get into porn production. Then he can watch others have sex in his bed every day. And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful house. And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. My god, what have I done? Letting the days go by. If you put your place up on Airbnb, you takes your chances. Actually, a friend of mine who had some flats on Airbnb in Berlin received a call from the surveillance of the building complaining about too much noise coming from the flat. He called the 2 guys who rented it, but got no answer. Well, he drove there and found like 10 naked people and 3 cameramen / crew. I feel like you didn't finish the story. Why the duck weren't I invited? All you had to do was ask. It was a gay porno, and they didn't want to make you uncomfortable. The 2 guys were really nice people. Let's not be hasty now. I can ride the B-cycle. Why didn't I get money from this? Break and enter porn is so hot right now. At least we are moving away from the incest-obsessed era of porn. I would have to masturbate on each piece of furniture to re-establish dominance. A wise man indeed. A stroke of genius. What are you doing in my swamp? I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder. So this reminds me of something that happened a couple years ago. An old friend from way back in the day was going through a rough patch and found herself homeless. I have a couch that folds out into a bed. So I'm like, sure, you can crash here for a few days until you get something permanent lined up. I wasn't going to give her a key, but I told her to just lock the door behind her when she left for work, and since I got done before she did, it'd be unlocked when she got done. A few days turned into a few months, and I was getting fairly annoyed. But I've been in that situation myself, so I tried to be patient. Well, I have some pretty expensive computer equipment, and at the time a couple cats. So a few years ago, when I was going out of town for a week, I installed some indoor security cameras. The idea was I could keep an eye on things, make sure the automatic feeder was doing its thing, etc. Ever since then, sometimes when I'm at work and curious what the cats were doing, I'd pull up the cameras and see. This fateful day I check the cat cam, and I'm just in time to see this girl bringing a completely strange guy into the place, going into my bedroom, and shutting the door. Oh hell no. I called her phone. No answer. I called out through the two-way camera. No reaction. Duck this. I take off work early and go straight home. I throw the door wide open to see them both naked in my bed. I just look at the guy and say out. Now, long story short, that was the last night she slept on my couch. I hesitate to call her friend, but she's not an enemy. She just burned the bridge that would have gotten her any charity from me. Thank you, sir. That was a good ducking story. Edit, sir or madam. Honestly, that would make me dissociate super hard. I moved into this house at the start of quarantine, and because of that I'm always here. I think it needed a day off after that. Haha. I moved into this house at the start of quarantine, and because of that I'm always here. It took place while you were having a shower, preparing for your next big hit on r/shower thoughts. Now how they got in is a different story. This is the lockpicking lawyer, and what I have for you today is /u/o_99s front door lock. At least watching that in VR would be super immersive. I 3D modeled my old apartment while I still lived there, and it was pretty trippy being inside the apartment while using VR to view the 3D model of the apartment. I can imagine just reading your comment made my brain a little trippy. Kind of related. Recognized a balcony with a porn star on it from the thumbnail. Clicked on it, and sure enough it was the Airbnb my friends and I stayed in about 6 weeks earlier. In Miami. Same everything. Couch. Paintings. Kitchen stools. View obviously. They were ducking on the couch. The guy was wiping his balls all over the cushions my buddy had been sleeping on either a few nights before or maybe a few nights after filming. Did you send this to your friend, and what was his reaction? I would like to know this as well. I'd try to see if my cats appeared in the background. Stepcat, is that you? My neighbor was on very popular site where the guy goes out in search of hot moms. As soon as my buddies recognized the train station and the basement couches, it was all over. Still feel really bad about the daughter / our old friend who had to live with the fact that her basement was plastered all over porn sites and everyone knew who her mom was after that. What's her mom's name? Asking for a friend. It was probably 15 years ago. Let's just say that even in her prime I wouldn't hit it. Bolt-ons and leathery skin from over tanning just doesn't do it for me. Probably better than if I recognize the people, but not the setting. A friend of mine has a small castle dedicated to hunting in the French countryside. She gets requests to rent it regularly for films. Well, for porn. She've always refused despite the money her uncle bought in the 80s. A big house in the countryside. There was 8 bedrooms. All with unique decoration. Once, I stayed there and had to choose between the one with a bed in an heart shape with lots of red, or one with AstroTurf on the floor. I asked why AstroTurf, and then her uncle explained the story of that house. In 1970, it was owned by a softcore producer. Things got tough when porn got authorized. The guy had dozens of softcore films, but it was not what people wanted anymore. So, what the guy did? He did reshoots of the close-ups with porn acts. The AstroTurf room was dedicated to the outside sex. When my friend uncle bought it, he loved the idea and didn't change most of the rooms. Apostrophe. Would it be better or worse if you recognize the house, furniture, and //1 / of the people in the production? Stepsies, is that you? Better a step sibling than your spouse / offspring. After getting treated for thrush, I would sell my home to Dean Sanders. Drive. Andre Nodick. My shivering. Forever unclean. I'd wonder how they didn't break the furniture. I barely trust my own bed to hold me up every night without breaking. That's gotta hurt your self-esteem. About 15 years ago, my boss's best friend was propositioned by a porn company to use his house and pool. They offered him $10K to use it for 2 days and said they would have it professionally cleaned and compensate for any damages. He said yes, as long as he could hang out and watch. A month later, he gets the call to book the date on the house and sign paperwork. He does. Gets his first check, and a week later, the film crew shows up. They bring their own mattress, couch and pool chairs to film on. Later that night, the porn stars show up. Turns out it's a gay porn flick with 4 guys showing up. The production company even made him a producer's chair. He was out of there real quick. Happened to my mate. Watching a live sex webcam. He sees 2 dudes ducking a chick. First thought was it was his wife. Then quickly realized it was his daughter getting ducked. Lol. I don't know if it's better or worse that it's his daughter and not his wife. Depends on how old she is. Like Leo from that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood scene. This sort of happened to me. Friend of mine lived in a complex with 16 apartments in the valley. To be clear, all the same floor plan. I recognized the front door, then the courtyard, then the kitchen. Sent her a closed screenshot and asked if anything looked familiar. She said, yeah, my neighbor. I'd give a good friend of mine a call and demand my cut. If it wasn't him, he knows who it was. I'm away a fair amount, and he knows my schedule best, plus would know that they could just walk in and wouldn't be bothered by the people in the worst cot next door. Mom's off to the races again. At least my bedroom finally got to see some action. / they could have at least let you watch. I actually experienced something like this. I was on a 2-week work trip and was missing my partner at the time. I decided to release some energy and was halfway through watching porn when I suddenly stopped and completely switched gears. I ran around my hotel room, comparing sections of the video with the details in the room, and confirmed that I was watching a video that was filmed in the room I'm in. I immediately texted my partner and my best friend in utter amazement. Best min blowjob ever. So that's why Pornhub has share buttons. Is that why the couch keeps getting dirty when nobody sits on it? Oh damn it, that's not what the love sack is for. Love sack. Baby love sack. I was shocked. Phoned my dad to ask WTF. Found out my dad's friend owned a model agency and did some photo shoots at our house a few times while me and my brother were at school. This was back in the 70s when it happened, and I discovered it a few years ago while researching the sofa I ended up with. Had this happen was the back of some girl that I didn't recognize and an obfuscated guy under her on a bed I used to use in a room I used to sleep in. Took a while, but I was able to pinpoint it to another family member banging it out with an XGF of this that got posted to a porn site. Not really a big deal. The weirdest part was seeing my furniture in a random internet video. Otherwise, I didn't give a shit and gave him a high five later. Hey, if you've gone do it in my house then at least let me join. Do I have amnesia? Would be just seething that I missed out. Was I at the store or something? Where's my money? Man, it looks even messier on camera. Current place wouldn't surprise me for a number of reasons, but my childhood home, I'd be suspicious as my parents were the second owners. Damn it, I knew there was a reason it smelled weird in here. HMN. Good luck with the bed bugs. Probably a lot more relieved than if I recognize the people in the porno. I mean, imagine, your friends? Why did you betray my trust in leaving a key with you, your family? Arg. My eyes. Your stepsister. I feel so left out. I would ask to join, and if they say no I'm kicking them out. Ha. This actually happened to me once. It was an image of someone nude on the floor with only the carpet in the frame. And it was my exact carpet, one of those older oriental ones. I sent the picture to my partner while he was at work. I usually recognize my house and furniture. I usually don't recognize the people in a porno. What was the question again? I'd call a locksmith to change the locks and move shit around in case they come back, so they have to deal with continuity errors. Then I'd clean the ever-living duck out of my house. I wouldn't sleep. The bottles of Pine Sol and Clorox bleach will shudder on the shelves as they see me, knowing their doom is to have their guts spilled to clean the unholiness out of the carpet and sofa. I just pray to God I won't need goo gone. I'll be happy that my house is seeing some sex cause me getting the chances are very low. Surely you should be able to recognize your mom. I would search the room for any evidence. Did the neighbors finally successfully break into our house this time? At least someone had sex here. I once recognized this small pink guitar that I have the exact same one. I started freaking out the mayo. Huh. Don't see many pornos in houses with shitty IKEA furniture. Maybe watch more Swedish porn? I would fear for their health and safety. This couch is not safe to be on naked. Someone I knew began the real estate boom in the early 2000s was talking about tips and tricks she learned while in LA. And she said a lot of these houses are bought out and never actually lived in 365 days a year. One of the money-making tricks some used is to rent out their homes for photo shoots. Like they had these huge open spaces easy to drive to near downtown. The photographer would get all the furnitures and accessories in, take the shots, then take everything out and leave. They'd pay a fee for this, of course. And some of the photo shoots were for pornos. You could easily get a few grand a month this way, which would take a significant dent out of your mortgage. Come back. Sounds like it's finally time to buy new furniture. I would ask where my check was for the day. Why wasn't I invited? Same. I was looking to this particular once a dude. Wasn't me but an acquaintance was viewing an apartment in SF and recognized it from a porno. He didn't rent it. Is my family filming these? Why didn't they tell me? Can I watch the next time? Wait, are they getting paid for this? I'm a little late, but my hometown was featured in Hot Girls Wanted Netflix movie. I was genuinely surprised, also pretty amused. I recognized most of what I saw whenever they were filming in that area, though I didn't recognize the girl featured. I once saw a nude selfie online that looked like it was taken in my girlfriend's old bathroom. Exactly like the bathroom. And the body looked very similar too. No face in the pic. Freaked me out for a few minutes while looked over every detail of the bathroom. I ended up finding a few tiny details that proved it was a different bathroom. But damn, it was weird. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.